Hey, what's up guys? So I wanted to do a video today talking about the just the differences between audio on the Red Magic 8 Pro Plus. Actually, so just clear it up, it is the 8 Pro, but it does have 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. And because of that, I call it the Pro Plus just because the only actual Pro Plus is available in China and not everyone's located there. So just to differentiate between the gigabyte, just to differentiate between the 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, I decided to call this the Pro Plus. So we're gonna say, just for my channel's sake, this is the Pro Plus, but if you're searching online, look for the Red Magic 8 Pro, and then make sure to select the 16 gigabytes and 512 of ROM or whatever. So 16 gigs of RAM, 512 ROM, basically storage. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. But yeah, if you want to buy it, just like look that up. We're gonna get started though. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play some royalty-free music so your boy doesn't get screwed over. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to play it on the Red Magic 8 Pro. Sorry, gotta play Seaside. Sounds like some like. So I'm gonna play it at each level. So we got the lowest, we have obviously nothing. So I have neighbors. so so I'm playing that for that amount of time. It's very loud, if you guys couldn't tell already. So if you're worried about like the speaker for that, don't worry. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into phone. We're gonna do this for the S23 as well. But I'm gonna go into phone. I'm gonna go ahead and do I think 411 is T-Mobile. I think, I don't know, but we're gonna find out what it is. Is it 711? We're just gonna, just real quick, so, yeah, that's definitely what I wanted. Just gonna not surprise you with my search history. Don't know what to expect. Okay, so 611, that's what that is. Okay, so.
Welcome to T-Mobile.
So.
Hi, William. Let's try again. In a few words, describe what you need. You can say things like, I want to make a payment. I need to check my account balance. Or,
All right, cool. Awesome. And then, so you have a little bit of an idea of how the call sounds on speaker. I can do the same thing without it. I'll try to put it close to the phone speaker. I don't know.
Welcome to Directory Assistance.
Oh, sorry, what? It broke. I always do this.
Welcome to T-Mobile. Hi, William. Tell me, how can I help you today? In a few words, describe what you need. You can say things like, I want to make a payment. I need to check my account balance. Or whatever the reason is for your call. So, what can I help you with?
Okay, I don't know if the microphone's on this side or that side, but hopefully you heard that. If not, I apologize. But yeah, so that's basically call volume on this one. And you can assume based on the music that I played, any video or anything is going to be just like that, and then any call is going to be just like that. So what we can do is now we can do the same thing on the S23 Ultra, and yeah, so this one might get really, really loud. So we're gonna go from here to, I'm gonna work my way up just like I did with the other one. Oh, that's interesting. So you'll notice I can already kind of hear it. That's cool. I'm almost intimidated to find out what the top volume is. I'm gonna have to do this a little quick so my neighbors don't complain. Okay, there we go. So we got that. And now we will do the same thing for this is random. Sorry, this has nothing to do with that. But look, I love how you can change like the buttons to like a fucking, look at that, like friggin' space, bruh. Like, I don't know, you can do, the themes are sick, bro. This is a dope ass theme. This was free too. Like, I don't know. I just think that is such a cool thing. This is what I used to do with jailbreaks or rooting my phone, and Samsung lets you do it like just fresh out the box. That is really, really cool. But yeah, let's get back into the sound thing. I just wanted to commend Samsung for that. You can change this one real quick to like where it's like a white bar with red and then red. You know what I'm saying? So it does look pretty cool. And then you can obviously install a ROM that does it too. So there's always options. You can even probably download a custom bar app that allows you to do that. You might need root access for that, but still, there are workarounds with Android. That's the best part. You can really find a workaround for anything. So we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna go to the call thing. So this time, oh duh, I literally don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I think you can do a free call through WhatsApp if I am not mistaken. So I'm gonna try WhatsApp. And of course, I guess I'll have to try WhatsApp on that one too, because I obviously didn't. Okay, I'm gonna. This is no. Or you can if you want. Here, I'll do it again. Try to just answer and say hi so they can hear. Here, let's go to.
Hello. Hello.
So as you can hear, we're gonna try on speaker now.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, yeah. So it does sound good. So yeah, as you can hear, the volume is really loud and clear. And then I'm gonna real quick do just WhatsApp on here. really quickly so we can get the same kind of consistency. But fortunately, I was able to kind of show you guys at least like the call volume on here through the app. Assume that whatever you hear through WhatsApp is going to be the same thing you hear through the regular call app, because it's really not that much different. So you can do that, and then also just with WhatsApp, the difference in there is going to be a similar difference between the calls with what do you want to call it? Between like the actual just default phone app. So yeah, let me get WhatsApp really quickly. And something to keep in mind too. So this, like, if you don't know, I've said this in every video, but I just want the new viewers to understand. This is a $1,300 to $1,400 phone, even $1,500, depending on what you get. I got the 512 gig model. So, and then this is right here. This is 16 and 512 with the same kind of storage and the same kind of RAM. And actually, there's a better, faster version of storage on this. But this one right here is $800. So if you're looking to get more out of your dollar, I would say go with this one. But there are some trade-offs. I do have something like, for instance, like the actually this is a plus in the Red Magic's direction as well. The touch latency response. I have a video on that if you want to check that out. What that basically is when you touch your phone screen, how fast does the screen register the touch? And the higher the like the hertz, the better, like the quicker it is. So I have a video on that, testing it in Call of Duty if you're interested. Somebody in a comment on a Facebook post said that this one sucked. It's not that bad, but it definitely is not as good as something like this. And then I saw people like laughing at his response, but bro, like if you really knew the difference and knew just knew about it instead of just being ignorant to it, I mean, there's a clear, you'd clearly understand which one's better, and money doesn't mean everything, and you're kind of getting ripped off. Like, I like this phone a lot. There's a lot of cool features, and it might be worth the money, but realistically, if you're looking for basic phone features with a lot of awesome gaming features, like I covered the game space feature with this. So I covered the game space feature with this. And I have like a detailed video on that too if you're interested. It's called just Red Magic 8 Pro Game Space Features. It's like an hour long because it's just literally so much. You can do stuff like macros where you can literally like record the taps on your screen, and then it will literally play them back. So when you're playing a game like RuneScape, which is very just like it's click-based game. It's an older game. I don't know if the newer people who watch my content know about it, but any kind of game that's just touch, like click based, that you would have found on the computer that ports over, it's perfect for that, because it's just like it literally will just go for the touches, so you can just literally have things. I don't recommend doing that because that's cheating, but it does work, and that's something really cool about that. But there are like so many features, like controlling your GPU, your CPU, like, and if you don't know what that is, GPU is graphics processor and the CPU is like actual just processor, and so yeah, so there are so that's a great video to check out too if you're curious about that. I do have and then I have a full review on each phone, two-parter for this phone and a one-parter for this one. This one is about an hour 15, actually an hour 1 minute. I don't know the exact, but I know that this one is about 3 hours 13 minutes. I went through every feature on this, so if you are curious, go to my channel. I've got tons of videos. I'm working on getting more S23 videos. I've only got 4 out so far, but I have like a good number for the Red Magic phone. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of info on that, so you guys can check out more of my videos. And also, if you guys can subscribe, we're definitely trying to get to 1,000 so I can apply for that partnership. If you also don't care about your your internet and you don't really worry, leave my videos streaming in the background, bro. I need that. And you, obviously, you don't have to, but if you could, that'd be super sick. Because I'm out here trying to get 4,000 watch hours to apply for partnership. I originally had partnership a long time ago. Lost it because I deleted my last video, but that was a few years ago. I'm trying to get it back, and I think it's a good start. We're already at like 1,800, but any of your streaming hours is very, very appreciated. And any subscription, no matter who you are, would be great. If you have multiple accounts, man, subscribe. I'm not a fan of like dead subscribers. What that means is basically not literally dead, but what that means is subscribers who don't follow or aren't active on your content. They're just a subscription. Good Lord, I can talk. A subscription for just the purpose of the subscription. So if you don't have to subscribe if you're not, but I just really need to reach that 1,000 mark. So that'd be super helpful. Appreciate you guys. I'm continuing to get this. We're trying to get to this. What do you want to call it? Setup so we can hear the call. Oh, the call on this. Let's see here. Hey, Mama. That's Mama. She hates me. I've had that cat for 2 years, 2.5 years now, and she barely comes near me. She, like, whenever I try to go near her, she'll like back up uncomfortably and then just run away, and it's pretty soul crushing. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks. There, well, freaking sucks. Oh shit. Sick. Okay. So now we have the call section. So, um,
Hello.
okay. Clearly it works. Now let's try it on speaker. 1 second. So you saw a little bit of there. Cool. Thank you. You guys saw, I mean, there was a little bit of audio fuzz, but that's just gonna happen. Like, I get it when I play super certain frequencies on here. We didn't see it on here, which was nice, but I promise you, you're gonna get that on both phones, regardless of what you're using. So don't really consider that as a reason to not choose the phone. Like, what you really should consider, unless you're just like basic user, and so if you're a basic user, man, and you want, it really just depends. So like, if you want better battery life, and because this has a lower resolution display, it's not bad, as you guys can see, but it does have a lower resolution display with a higher battery, like a larger battery. So essentially you're getting like a long time out of this. Like, somebody said, this is amazing, bro. This is way better. I get a lot more time out of this than this, even when this is calibrated. Like, I've had this for a few days, and I think the battery's starting to get really calibrated. Like, it's starting to kind of get comfortable, and I'm able to use it all day. So you're getting battery life for a day out of each. But I just really think this one's the better bet for battery. But if you want a better display, and you want, you're not too concerned with the battery as much, but you really want like customization features and you want more productivity with the S Pen, this is the one to go to. I would say that, so when you're choosing a device, don't choose it just for audio. Like, oh my goodness. Don't choose it just for audio. Choose it for the specs. Like, it's really important. A lot of people say they don't care, but it does make a difference. Like, you might not be a gamer, but dude, specs also play an influence on how fast you can play videos, how fast you can download music, how fast you can download different, I don't know, photos, things like that. Like, most will do it just fine, but if you want, there are devices with faster read and write, like, which is like, it'll basically read, it'll tell what's going on, then write it, it'll like download it to your device. Like, this is faster for that because it has like a newer version, like, you know what I mean, newer version of storage. And then you got like faster Bluetooth on here versus this one. This one's still pretty good, but this is actually a faster version of Bluetooth. Like, there are newer things on this one that aren't in this one, so this is something you got to consider. But do you want the better display? That's the thing too. So what I'd say with this is like something to consider, but it shouldn't be your end all. Like, you really want to consider, like, these things are computers. You got to think about it like that. And I know it might seem complicated with all the numbers and stuff, but the highest right now that I would say that you can get with a newer processor, the newest one for Android. Let me just put it like that, for people who aren't very tech savvy. The newest processor for Android, which basically controls how fast the phone goes. So and apologies, I'm not trying to come off condescending. I'm just trying to help out for people who aren't very tech savvy. So for the processor, the newest processor, the highest amount of RAM that you can get is 16 gigabytes. So if you're really looking for the best of the best, go for a 16 gigabytes of RAM version. And for storage, you can get up to a terabyte on some devices. I think this and the iPhone also have that. But yeah. So what am I saying? So consider RAM, consider storage, and then the fastest processor is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So if you can remember that, that'd be super great too. And then, this is a WVGA Plus display, and this one, so 1440p, and then this one is has a weird resolution, but it's pretty much QHD, which is less than WQHD Plus. So, you can clearly tell, I guess. But yeah, so that's the thing too. So I guess another trade-off too, you don't get the camera. As you can see, as you can see on the left, you have the what's up, dude? As you can see on the left, you have like the little dot. On here, it's hidden on the display. Not as good quality, but you still get face unlock with nothing interrupting your display. Better quality. It doesn't really take up that much space, so that's something to consider too. How thin are the devices, right? So look, and I'm just trying to get you guys more than just the call stuff in here, because there is more to a device than just the call stuff, and I'm really trying to reinforce that. So textures, what do you want? Do you want like a matte finish, or do you want like a reflective shiny kind of finish? Do you want like better cameras here, or do you want like lesser cameras? You want a vent that has cooling, which leads to less frame drops, or do you want just a complete flush nice thing that doesn't really matter, but it looks and feels really clean, and it's like super nice, and this feels great too, but it's not as clean in my opinion. Do you want something that's clear and like see-through and you have more like a techie feel, or do you want something that's really just flush and nice, like I said before? Like, these are things to consider. Like, you want to consider more. Do you need a headphone jack? Like, this one has a headphone jack, this one you need Bluetooth. So these are things to consider when buying phones. I know it might seem pretty complicated to somebody who just is looking for a phone. If you're just looking for a phone that works, I'd say, and you're looking for Android, I'd say this. If you're just looking for a basic phone that does basic stuff that's going to last you a long time, I'd even recommend an iPhone. Obviously, but the thing with that is too, everyone jumps at an iPhone and doesn't give credit to things like this. So, for instance, this thing has a hearing test. Like, you can set the frequencies, which is basically like sound travels in waves, and the waves can be known as frequencies, and they travel at different things. Like an old radio, you'd have to turn the dial and there'd be different numbers. Those are different frequencies, and so you pick up at a different frequency, right? So this will set it so you don't get high frequencies if you're older, because you have the option from like teenager to 30, right? Or you have then you have like 30, I guess, 31 to 50, and then 50 and up. So you have and the higher you go, like the older you are, the lower the high frequencies are, and it protects your ears more. And so that's really sweet. And you can even do a hearing test. Now, albeit you don't have that on this, but you have a headphone jack, but still, all you have to do is, so it kind of ironically says plug in headphones. Can't plug in headphones. I mean, I guess you can through a converter, so you can get a USB-C converter. I mean, even there's ones that you can get through Apple. Just literally, it's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack to USB-C, so you can even do it through here. You just plug in a headphone set, and you can actually test it, and it'll pick the best option for you. It'll actually specifically calibrate the, you have so with there's something called an equalizer, or I think that's what it's called. But basically, the thing where it's like the things you slide up and down, that's basically you're creating how the sound wave sounds. You know what I'm saying? So it'll take that and actually adjust it internally based on how you, what am I saying? Based on, completely forgot what I was saying. Based on just the result you get, it's gonna equalize the sound. I don't know if I'm using the right term. I'm not the best with audio terms, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but you gotta get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's something to consider too. But like I said, you get headphone jack over here. See, if you don't want to buy an adapter, spend any extra money, and have a bunch of 3.5 millimeter headphone jack or earphones lying around, then dude, you're perfect. And 3.5 millimeter is just basically the headphone jack that everybody had for years. You know what I mean? And so that's something that's super important too. There are a lot of things to consider with these phones, guys. I would say that don't just jump to Android, jump to Android. Don't just jump to Apple because of the fact that you think that it's going to be easier or you're going to get more software support. Here's the truth. Apple does this thing where they make you think you're getting software support, but what you're getting is you're getting just a number update. It makes you feel like you're getting something new when they really don't change much. And technically, all that's happening is they're downclocking your processor, which means the phone's going to be slower. If you want your phone to be faster, right, you clock the processor up set it at a higher speed, and that consumes more power. But if you want to preserve power, they downclock the processor. You can actually literally control it here based on what game you're doing, which is pretty sweet. But all you're getting is a downclock processor, and your phone is literally getting slower. And I don't know how long you're trying to keep your phone. So maybe if you're trying to keep your phone, like, you might be okay with dealing with the sluggishness of it, but that's something to keep in mind. Android doesn't do this. When they update the phone, they update the phone. That's why you don't see a lot of updates. But with Apple, you're going to get a lot of gimmicks with just like the pretend updates they do. They don't really do real updates. And you might think, like, oh, for sure they do updates. But I'm talking when Samsung does real updates, they do a real update. When Red Magic, being ZTE Nubia, they're a combined company now, they do real updates as well. And Apple, honestly, the updates are just kind of bogus. Like, they don't do much unless you have the flagship device. Then you're getting some new, or maybe even the year before. But before that, if you're looking for 6 years of software support, what you're getting is 6 years of downclocking. And I'm being honest, you might get security updates, but bro, you get security updates with this shit too. Like, people think the security of Android is flawed or it's not working. Like, bro, literally, they do monthly. Oh my goodness, they do monthly security updates. Like, people complain, what, Android doesn't have the security that iOS does. Yeah, it does, and they update it monthly, just like iOS barely does. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I would say get out of the Apple ecosystem because it sucks. That's my opinion. But yeah, basically, point of the video was for me to kind of just try to sell you on maybe just the differences between the devices, but also just go over the audio because I think that's really important. You know what I mean? So just to basically call an audio test. But I really wanted to kind of convince you guys that looking for a phone is not just going to be based on the audio. A lot of people seem to think that a phone is still just a phone how it was. No, man. These are small computers. This is really what computers have turned in, like what computers are now. I mean, like, I don't pull out a laptop unless I have schoolwork to do. But other than that, I play games on my phone. I do things on my phone, like everything on my phone. I don't play games on here because this one is my dedicated gaming device. And I've actually been, you'd think I would use this one. I've been using this one as my daily driver. But yeah. So basically, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. And that was just a sound test. Yeah, hopefully this is essentially maybe good enough for you guys to maybe make a choice between them. If you want to see any other video, just let me know. Please remember to rate, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Doesn't matter. Let me know what you think about this in the audio. And if you have any questions, ask me. There are also, I always forget, real quick, I didn't subscribe, but real quick, there's types of wireless audio that is supported, and I think, there's only like 1 or 2 types that this supports, but this supports more types of wireless audio, and I don't know the exact names, but this does support more. It's not like this is not going to support most, if not every wireless headphones, but it's in terms of like audio frequencies, like what is accepted for like quality of music pretty much. So you really want to go for this one if you're looking for that. With this one, you're not getting as much, and they had to cut corners somewhere, and I think they did it with this. So that's something to consider too. I just want to throw that in at the end because that is something to consider. I don't know all the exact types. If you want to look, all you have to do is go to Google and type in like either Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra specs, or you go to Red Magic 8 Pro Plus specs. So, and personally, you should just do the 8 Pro with the 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, but Red Magic 8 Pro, and you're gonna get all the specs. So, and that in there is going to tell you what types of audio are in there. So if you're really, really curious about it, you can either ask me below and I can even look it up, or you can just look it up yourself and you'll get way more information on everything else too that I didn't cover in this video. But if you're looking for a full review on each device, I do have it on my channel. Just remind you guys, I have a lot on there. So please go there, please subscribe and check out my other content. Really appreciate it, guys. Have a nice day.